Boom! It's your boy Jimmy. Oh, whoa, no, 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 no. Straight from y'all, street to Wall Street. Anybody tells you that money is the root of all evil doesn't have any. Whoa, no. Dude, wake up, get that girl hyped up just to get a little bit. The only woman in the morning wanna turn on his Becky quick. While the average man's looking at curves like she fine as heck. I'm over here looking at tails and wicks like buy or sell. I left the chaos for the market. Nah, I don't want a street spot, I want a stock pick. I know the style got flair, trigger my stop losses, but I ain't got time for distractions. My Vivo with PFs crossing, rich with high trades from pushing high keys. Strategies and plans to make grand, still in my tank top. Batman pajamas, house slides in about 5. Hot picks of the day, cause I like the way the Dow moves. For hot dips on call, so I got options. Two with a lot of volume, one with a double bottom. Now I know some folks don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my Mac day? You see we're different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dogs, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, I grow with the market. Waking up with the future, stacking up some commas. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. They used to watch me move dance, roll stop it. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Used to run from the ATF and the car. Now I run down ETF and make profit. I jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit. While watching them candles, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. See me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. He said today I'm taking the risk, they got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pulls the trigger and shuts it down. If she stays on my watch list, I might have to keep her, but I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Go ahead, be bold. Trader, get your squad head. I'll double top that guy, head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over, cause I see big moves in contracts. If I say I made 1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get cross, get split, get delisted and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals. They used to watch me move them packs, bro, stop it. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq, profits. Used to run from the ATF and the cops. Now I run down ETFs, make profit. Hey, my plug that we don't trade, make profit. Right on what we do, man, make profit. Hey, Friday, Suge, Mike. What we doing, dog? Make profit.
Make profit.
That TTG money gang.
We making profit.
We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you're getting ready for the holidays, but don't get ready too fast because we're about to get the backlog of all of the economic data that we did not get while the government was shut down. Everybody wants to know whether or not we're going to get a Santa Claus rally. We had a little bit of a hiccup on Friday that made people think that maybe that wasn't in the cards for us, but we have some time before that Santa Claus rally is really supposed to start. It's really the end of December into the early couple days of January is really typically the period of the Santa Claus rally. So right now, tomorrow, we're going to be December 15th. So we still have, a couple weeks or a little while before we get into whether or not that Santa Claus rally actually does still happen. And I'm going to tell you right now on this live stream, I do think that we are going to see a bit of a Santa Claus rally. I still am optimistic about next year. I'm not in the doomsday camp like you might see some people on X, but I'm also not in the land of, fairies, leprechauns, and unicorns that thinks that, next year the market's just going to go to, 8,000, 9,000, or have another 25% year. I'm getting ready to release my market outlook report to members of True Trading Group. That is something that they get every single year. It's going to come out either the last week of December or the first week of January. It's when I issue all of my thoughts for the markets next year, the stocks I'm buying, the stocks I'm selling, the sectors I like, the sectors I don't like. And the goal is just to outperform the S&P 500. That's the goal. We've done it now 5 years running since I started issuing those market outlook reports. And now this is going to be the 6th year. So we're trying to see if we can do this now for 6 years, 6 years in a row. So we've had a wonderful last run these last 5 years since we started doing it. And let's see if we can just keep that momentum going. A lot to talk about here today on this live stream. Okay. We are going to get a complete bombardment of economic data this week. Everything that we did not get from October and November because of the government shutdown. So there is going to be no shortage of economic data this week. These are catalysts that absolutely will move the market in a meaningful way. We have another earnings report that's AI related. That's going to be Micron's going to be a big focus this week. Last week, it was Broadcom and Oracle. Both of those stocks got crushed over 10%. And now Micron is next up on deck. Micron's actually sold off the last, I think, 3 earnings reports in a row that they've had. They've had good earnings, and the stock has still just went down. So maybe we're going to see something like that again here this week. I've got some AI-related trades on deck. I've got some crypto-related trades on deck. I'm going to break down for you guys my top trade ideas for the week, exact breakdown and game plan, how I plan on making money, where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out. Not a Monday morning quarterback. We talk about what we're going to do before we do it here at True Trading Group. So if this is your first time on these streams, welcome. All right. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. I'm really thrilled to have you guys all here with us tonight. True Trading Group exists to literally help you help you learn faster, trade smarter, and profit sooner. It's what we're going to do here tonight. True Trading Group is very proud to be powered by our partners at the Nasdaq, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, Data Bento, and of course, also Unusual Whales. See, guys, True Trading Group, we're not just a chat room with courses and trade alerts. TTG is an award-winning fintech platform, having received the 24 Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. We're actually a finalist for 3 awards in 2025. This is a platform that is built on education that's backed by experience, strategies that are proven by success, and honestly, tools that actually think and are fully customized around you, the individual user. So no matter who you are, how much money you have to trade with, how much time you have, doesn't matter. Okay, TTG exists to help you guys to make money in the markets is what we're going to do here. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe, smash that like button, show some love, but make sure that you are watching this video live. So I want you to make sure you guys all see a red dot. Okay, I want to make sure you all see a red dot at the bottom left. Okay. At the bottom left, I want you to make sure that you guys see a red dot. All right. I want to make sure you guys all see a red dot next to the word live. Okay. If you do not see a red dot next to the word live, click the word live, and then you'll get brought right up to speed. All right. Make sure you guys are all brought up to speed. All right. Now, before we dive in tonight, before we get into some of my top trade ideas, before we dive in, first, we might be wondering who the hell is this guy and why should I listen to anything it is the SSA? So it's a valid question if you guys are new and you're unfamiliar with who I am or my background or why I should pay attention to the stuff that I discuss on this channel. I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I didn't have to watch YouTube videos and sit in Discords or self-teach myself. I was very lucky and fortunate. My first job right out of college was actually working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. My first job out of college, they had me go through a training program before I was ever able to touch a dollar of the fund's money. I was trained by professionals on Wall Street. I was very fortunate that was my start in this. I didn't have to go through and make a lot of the same errors and mistakes and kind of go through the same type of learning curve and trial and error and everything else that most people have to go through when they first decide to get involved in the markets. Then shortly after that, 2008 happened, which was the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash, something we're all familiar with here, right? But that was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. Okay, True Trading Group has 11,000 members from 115 different countries. We truly are a global community here at True Trading Group. We day trade, we swing trade, we cover long-term investing, we do stocks, we do options, we do crypto, we do futures. There's literally something for everybody here at True Trading Group. Okay? Literally something here for everybody. All right? So, again, make sure you smash that like button. Show some love. Make sure you subscribe. Okay? So there you guys have that. All right, guys. All right, let's get things kind of on let's get this show started here. And let's talk about everything that we have coming up here this week. All of the things that we have coming up on deck this week, I will read them out to you. Okay, here is the list of data that we have coming. All right, here is the list we have. We are going to be getting this week October retail sales, October PCE inflation data, the November jobs report, which in my opinion is maybe the most important. I think the November jobs report, and then we also get November CPI report. I think those are your 2 most important pieces of data this week. I think the October PCE number is also important, but I think the November CPI might be the most important that we have. Also, we're going to get University of Michigan consumer sentiment and consumer inflation expectation surveys is also happening this week. I think we have 5 Fed members that are going to be speaking this week as well. So we're finally going to get caught up with all the economic data. And then I have some other fun facts that I want to share with you guys as it relates to the Santa Claus rally. Okay. Here's a couple of fun facts. The Santa Claus rally, are we going to have one? Yes or no? That's what everybody wants to know. As I sit here right now today on December 14th, I think we're going to have one. If that changes, I will certainly let you guys know as soon as I do believe that is going to change. And I no longer think we are going to have a Santa Claus rally. I will let you know that. Right now, futures market is green. We actually started off slightly in the red. We've now recovered. We're up 0.2%. So we are starting off this future session. We are starting that off slightly in the green. But since 1929, the S&P has risen 79% of the time during the Santa Claus rally period with an average gain over that time frame of 1.6%. So over the last 100 years, essentially, the markets have gone up 79% of the time, on average 1.6% during the Santa Claus rally period. Now, the technical period of a Santa Claus rally is the last 5 trading days of December and the first 2 trading days of January. Okay? That is the technical Santa Claus rally time period. All right? The last 5 trading days of December and the first 2 trading days of January. So you can see why I'm saying we have some time before we actually get into the Santa Claus rally period. All right. It's not going to have anything to do with this week's price action. The markets could go down this week. Still does not mean that we can't have a Santa Claus rally. So I want to make sure that, again, everybody understands the actual time period of when the Santa Claus rally is supposed to take place. All right. Even if you were to say, okay, well, let's not go all the way back to 1929. Even if you started at 1950, the S&P 500 has posted positive results also 79% of the time with an average gain of 1.3%. Over the last 8 years, the S&P has declined during the Santa Claus rally period 1 time in the last 8 years. So no matter how you want to break this up, do you want to go all the way back to 1929? Do you want to go back to, post World War II? Do you want to go back to just, pre-COVID? However you want to look back at this, the markets go up usually during this time period. Last 5 days of December, first 2 trading days of January. All right. And over the last 75 years, the last 2 weeks of December have been the best week for stocks. So now you're starting to see why everybody is interested and why everyone's talking about whether or not we're going to have this Santa Claus rally. The markets have done an amazing job this year. The markets have just been so incredibly strong for the last several years. And we had these little brief hiccups in between, but these hiccups in between are good. They really are. They really are good. Bear markets are not a common occurrence. Bear markets only happen once every 4 to 6 years. We've had a bear market 3 out of the last 6 years. That is way above normal. I don't know if people realize that. So you have a 5% correction or a 5% pullback happens about 3 times a year on average. A 10% correction happens like once every 1 to 1.5 years. A bear market once every 4 to 6 years. A recession once every 7 to 8 years. And if you take a look at what this market has gone through, you had a bear market during COVID. You then had a bear market during 2022. You had a bear market in 2025. All 3 of these highlights you see on my screen were 20% declines in the market. That's a technical definition of a bear market. You got to go down 20%. We did it during COVID. We did it in 2022. We did it during the tariff shock of Liberation Day back in April. So there's 3 bear markets within 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, within 6 years. We are well above schedule. We're well above pace when you look at that. And going into next year, when people talk about all the things, you go online, you see all these people talking about online. They talk about, AI, they talk about a bubble, they talk about Japan, they talk about crypto, they talk about geopolitical stuff. They talk about all these different things about why the sky is falling and why the world is going to end. And I just don't see it going into next year. Going into next year, I'm actually, and again, I'm going to be publishing my market outlook report here pretty soon for members of True Trading Group with all my top picks for next year. Exactly what I'm doing with my own portfolio, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. You guys are going to get that really soon. So I still do remain bullish for next year. I still do. And it's tough when you actually think about the market having a bear market 3 out of the last 6 years, because even though we've had a bear market 3 out of the last 6 years, the markets have gone up so much in that same exact period. You go back to that COVID bottom where the S&P or the SPY bottomed at 220, and now here we sit at 680. That is an unbelievable move in the S&P. Unbelievable. You're talking about normally 9 to 10% average returns for the S&P, and we're doing 20, 22, 21, 15, 14% type 19% gains. If you were to go back to even you go back to 2019, you're talking well above average gains and well above average volatility. As you and I sit here on this live stream, you have to understand we could not ask for a better market environment than well above average returns with well above average volatility. Those are two things that you don't normally see go together, and we've had them go together for 6 years. And anyone that has been involved in the markets during that time period, and a lot of people I know got involved during COVID, and you got shaken back out of the markets when you had to go back to work, or maybe you got your ass handed to you after the meme stock craze, and you got crushed in 2022, and you stepped away from the markets, whatever it is. You didn't necessarily know what you were doing. You said, you know what, the hell with this. Big mistake if you stepped away from the markets during that time. The volatility allows us as active traders to make a lot more money on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis with day trading and swing trading. It also provides really good entry opportunities for the long-term portfolio to then capitalize on the well above average returns that we've seen in the market over the last 6 years. You couldn't have asked for a better time to be involved in the markets. True Trading Group as a company, as a business, we've exploded. We've exploded over this time period because obviously it's the best market environment I've ever seen in my entire life. I've been doing this about 20 years. We've also exploded because our members do very, very, very well. Members of True Trading Group have success. We have a over 72 or 74% retention rate amongst our members, meaning once they join, they stay with us at a rate well into the 70%. Our refund rated TTG is less than 2.5%. So, and when I say success amongst our members, I just literally mean our members make money. And that's all that matters. It's all you guys really are here on this live stream for on a Sunday evening. You're here because you guys want to know how to make money in the markets. And you're here probably because you want to know whether or not there's going to be a Santa Claus rally. And when I'm saying here, standing up here, and I'm saying, hey, I think, our members make money. I'm not just telling you because I think that. And you shouldn't just believe me just because I say it, just because I'm some guy on a YouTube channel. You should listen to members of True Trading Group themselves. We have almost 2,000 people on this live stream, many of which I'm sure are obviously not, many of which I know are members of True Trading Group. I see some of the usernames. So I know that you have a lot of members of TTG that are on the live, and I'll just ask them real quick just to kind of show you. Members of True Trading Group, members of TTG, I want you guys to do me a favor. If you're on this live stream and you are making money with True Trading Group's platform, I want you to go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. Anyone here that's not part of True Trading Group and is, maybe wondering, who are these guys? What's this group? What are they about? Who's this guy in a Yankee hat? Whatever. Pay attention to how many people you see type the number 1, because these are members of True Trading Group that are telling you that they're making money. It's not me telling you that they're making money. I just asked the question. You're seeing the people respond. And you're seeing all these people, they're not making money because they're smarter than you or they're luckier than you, and they're sure as hell not doing it because they have more time than you. 82% of our member base has a full-time job, so if they can do this, so can you. There's absolutely no reason why you guys can't do this, especially now. Especially now. Now more so than ever before, there is no excuse. I don't want to hear it from anybody. I mentioned you before, True Trading Group is a fintech platform. We are at the forefront of the AI evolution and AI integration into retail trading. We like to think of TTG's platform as the Bloomberg terminal for retail traders. You have a Bloomberg terminal, which is hedge funds, professionals, costs like $32,000 a year. It's incredibly expensive, but every single hedge fund uses them. Every single institution and professional has access to them. But they're like $2,000 to $3,000 a month per seat. So it's over $30,000 a year per seat. So per person. So they're incredibly expensive. So most retail traders don't use them. But they have tools, analytics, data, and community that you simply don't have access to as a retail trader. So what we've done is we've created what we like to call like the TTG terminal, which is for retail traders, and it gives them tools and resources and data feeds and analytics that professional traders have access to, but now members of True Trading Group, being retail traders, we've now given them access to those same type of tools and those same type of analytics. Hence the Benzinga Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. That is the TTG platform. As much as I would love to sit up here and tell you that the reason why everyone you just saw type number one is making money is because I'm just such an amazing trader, it's not the case. Okay. That's not the reason why our members are making money. It's not the reason why our members are having success. Yes, I'm a damn good trader. I'm not the greatest. I don't ever claim to be. I have losing trades. I have red days. I'm going to be wrong too. Our moderators are amazing traders as well. They also don't have 100% win rates. The moderators and I collectively as a group maintain a win rate cumulative amongst all of our executions of just around 80% now, going on roughly the last like 5 years. Okay, we track every buy, every take profit, every stop out, every green, red, break even trade. It's all right there, fully transparent for you guys on our website to see. Okay, that's something we leave open book, full transparency for our members. The reason why our members are having so much success is because of the tools and resources that they get access to on our platform. And we are very, very excited and proud about the newest tool that we have just launched that we are calling, just for lack of a better word, we're going to change this name. We have it kind of was a nickname when it was in development. It kind of just stuck, and everyone has just kind of run with it. But I think we are going to change the name. But for tonight, the name is, we call it the Holy Grail tool. It is a truly revolutionary, one of a kind or first of its kind type of tool that we released in True Trading Group about a week and a half ago. And the response from our community has been absolutely out of this world, far exceeding anything that we could have imagined. The win rate on this tool is pushing right now between 74 and 75% accuracy. It is just something that has far exceeded all of our expectations. And members of True Trading Group that are on this live stream, those of you that have used the Holy Grail tool, I want you guys just to make, here's what we'll do. If you are a member of TTG and you guys have made money with the Holy Grail tool, I want you to type the number 2 and then give me a sentence or two. Just describe your experience with the Holy Grail tool. You don't have to write a paragraph. Just give me a sentence or two on the Holy Grail tool. If you're making money, type the number 2, give me a sentence or two on this, and just kind of tell me what your guys' experience with this really has been. And again, I don't want, if you're not a member, I want you to pay attention to what members are saying. I don't want you necessarily to pay attention to what I'm saying. I want you to pay attention to what they have to say about this tool. And I'll explain to you what it is and how it works and everything else. Okay. So just read some of the comments that come through some of our members that are telling you that they're using it. Okay. I want you guys to kind of just get an idea of how our members are using this tool and what their experiences with it have been like. As I drink my tea, yeah, my wife is really sick. My wife is sick again. She was just sick. My wife was just sick a couple of weeks ago. But she's pregnant, so she really can't take anything, which is annoying. But here we go. Easy to use. It's been quite accurate for me so far. This tool will likely pay for itself with 1 or 2 trades, and a few more likely plays will pay for your membership for an entire year. It's an unreal tool, easy to use, great entry points. It works great for me. I can't wait to use it again tomorrow. Let me see. The Holy Grail tool is going to will assist you with your trading. I started using it last week. I have not had a losing trade with it yet, says Gerald. It analyzes so many data points, gives you probability of outcomes that us as traders are just not capable of doing on our own with just the push of a button. Professional trader access and professional, the great Brady telling you exactly what to do. Easy to use, follow it exactly, when to get in and out. No thinking required. Just read the results and follow the instructions. It will give you great analysis, great entry points. It will explain to you why it recommends those time frames. Like you guys, I'm just reading some of the comments coming through from members of TTG. It's accurate and precise with target, entry, and exit ideas. So yeah, so you guys can keep reading some of these comments. I won't go ahead and keep reading them. We'll kind of keep keep the show moving here and get to kind of my top trade ideas for the week. We could talk about how we're going to be making money this week, while also using the Holy Grail to actually go through some of that. But what the Holy Grail is, guys, is essentially we have taken and we've created a tool through the help of obviously our entire AI platform and the brain that runs TTG's AI that is called Mari. That's our AI platform. That's our model that we have here at True Trading Group that received the Benzinga Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. Essentially, what this tool does is you only need to input a couple of things. The concept behind this tool is to take user error out of the equation. The less input a user has, the better off the analysis is going to be. So instead of you giving a bias towards, a trade signal or a setup, essentially all you do is you say, hey, you know what? I want to trade Tesla today. You would select Tesla. So you got to select, what do you want to trade? Do you want to trade a stock, an option, a crypto, or a futures contract? So you would select the assets or the security type. Then you type in the ticker symbol. So if you want to trade Tesla options, you would say options, Tesla. You give it what's the size of your trading account, how much are you willing to risk on this trade, and then you select, are you looking for a scalp, a day trade, a swing trade, or a long-term investment? You have to select one of those. That's it. It's all you need to do. Choose the security type, the ticker symbol, give it your account size and your percent and the percentage you want to risk for that trade, and you select what type of trade do you want? Scalp, day trade, swing trade, long-term investment. And then after you do that, you simply just click run analysis. That is it. You click one button. There it is. There's the platform. So you guys, that's it. See that button there on the right says run analysis? That's it. You click that button. That's it. You would put in the ticker symbol. See where it says stock. You can change stock to options. Brett, why don't you just change that to options for me so we can just see when you change it to options. You might have froze. Brett, you frozen? I think you might have froze. Yeah, it looks like Brett's screen just froze. But anyway, you guys see it, right? This is it. There you go. There it is. So now we change it to options. Brett, switch it to crypto real quick. If you guys want to trade a crypto, you can switch to crypto. Then notice the ticker symbol. See how the ticker symbol defaults to BTC? That's so that it defaults to Bitcoin, right? When you do options or stock, it just defaults to the SPY. But you would just change it. You can type in NVIDIA. You can type in Carvana. You can type in, Rigetti, you can type in, Oracle, whatever the hell it is you want to trade. Just type it in, account size, risk, and then you select day trade, scalp, swing trade, and then you just click run analysis. What this thing does at that time, it's a multi-agent system. So there are 3 different agents that are doing they're doing different jobs separately, but simultaneously. Okay. Essentially what you'll do is you will have, and then we're just running it now just as a demo, but obviously, markets are closed. Obviously, I would tell you guys to run this tomorrow when markets are open and has all of the different data that is coming through, and you can analyze a lot more data. I'm just doing this to give you guys an idea of what it actually looks like, just so you guys can see, what it looks like and how it works. But obviously, you're not going to try to trade a Tesla option now, but it will consider, it's going to give you a trade idea for tomorrow if you run it on a Sunday. But again, you're going to want to run it tomorrow so it has all of the most recent data so it can give you a trade idea for tomorrow that has a lot more higher conviction and higher probability because it has more data that runs into its analysis. So you have 3 different agents. You have a technical agent, that's agent 1. The technical agent's job is to analyze price action, candlesticks, chart patterns, support resistance, and indicators. That's it, nothing else. Macro agent is agent number 2. The macro agent's only job is to analyze news sentiment, social media sentiment, market regime, like are the markets bullish, are the markets bearish? Is the stock have relative weakness, relative strength? Are the markets going up, the markets going down? Is tech strong, is tech weak, etc. That's agent number 2. Then agent number 3 is called the wild card agent. Agent number 3's job is to manage your risk. Are there any events or catalysts that can really screw up your trade? Anything that can really screw your trade up. If it screws your trade up, you got maybe there's earnings, or if there's a piece of economic data, or maybe Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, whatever it is, it'll notify you of that risk. Okay. All three of those agents come up with their own individual reports. They then send that report to agent number 4, which is the supervisor or the head trader agent. And then that is the agent that then takes all that information and then makes a decision. Do I want to go long? Do I want to go short? Where do I want to get in? Where do I want to get out? And gives you entries, exits. It gives you triggers. It tells you exactly when to enter. It tells you exactly what to look for. It says, hey, this is the trigger that you want to look for. The trigger will be this price action. It gives you the entry point. It gives you ideal entry. It gives you entry zone. It gives you profit target 1. It gives you profit target 2. It gives you a stop loss. It gives you position sizing recommendations for your risk tolerance and your account size. It gives you conviction level. It gives you probability of different support levels and resistance levels holding. It gives you probability of targets being reached. All of this with a click of a button. That's it. The click of a button. And we are tracking this vigorously. It has a hit rate currently right now of around 74 to 75%. What is a hit rate? It means every single run or trading plan that's generated for our members, we track. And what constitutes a win would be if the suggested entry zone that it gives you for the trading plan is that entry zone reached. Once that entry zone is reached, what happens? Does it go to a profit target first, or does it go to a stop loss first? If it goes to the profit target first, it gets hit as a win. It gets hit as that's a successful hit on the trading plan. So that's going to be a winning trade. If it gets to the entry zone and then goes to the stop loss first without going to the profit target, that's going to get hit as a loss. If the entry zone is never reached, it's marked down as a no entry, meaning the entry zone that the trading plan suggested of where you should get in, that price was actually never reached. So you never could have gotten into the trade if you followed the trading plan, and that would go under the no entry category. Of all of the trades that the entry zone has been reached, we have a successful hit rate right now over the last 2 weeks with tens of thousands of trading plans run for our members of around 74 to 75%. Something that we are incredibly excited about, incredibly proud about, and something that has very quickly become a staple here for us at True Trading Group. It is something that is going to be beneficial. It is something that is going to be beneficial for everybody. It's something that's going to be beneficial for everybody. This is something that you can do on your phone, something you can just do on your laptop, something you can do no matter how busy you are. We also have Talk to Mari. So if you guys see on the bottom right, we have a little voice agent. So let's say if you guys are busy, or if you're on the go and you run this trading plan, you can actually talk to Mari through voice, and you can say, hey, what's the trade plan? What does it say? What's it suggest that I should do? And then our AI will talk to you about the trading plan. Right? I can actually pull up the leaderboard for you guys right now, but it's a data dump. So we're not actually brought completely up to speed here. There's still thousands of runs that need to be dumped into this tracker, but I can show you the leaderboard real quick, just if you guys want to see it. We're fully transparent with this. This stuff tracks. It's delayed now because we ran tens of thousands of trading plans, and then we created the leaderboard system so we can track whether it's a win or a loss. So all of that has to get caught up. But once we get caught up, then it'll be happening and you'll be able to track it in real time. So here's the leaderboard. So right now it's even a little bit higher. So right now it's 75. So right now it's 75.7% accurate. It looks like there's 727 wins and 233 losses on the most recent dump. You have 36 or 38. It looks like 38 no entries. But this is the leaderboard that eventually will be up to real time. But it just takes a while for the software to go through and track it all. You can see the total runs that we have done. So our users, our members at True Trading Group have used this tool 25,269 times. Of that, 22,937 came back with a tradable plan. 2,332 came back no trade, meaning like don't place a trade. 16,620 of them were longs. 6,312 were shorts. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just incredible. And all this is fully transparent, guys. We're obviously fully transparent with everybody about this. And this is stuff that's live for our members that they can see and that they can track. Okay. Yeah, it does options, it does stocks, it does futures, it does crypto. It literally does whatever you guys want it to do. It's literally, it's absolutely incredible. Revolutionary. TTD members are blessed to have a brilliant team taking us on the journey to success. I love it, man. I love it, guys. I love it so much. So here's what I'm curious real quick. I'm curious real quick. How many people do we have on this live stream right now that are not members of True Trading Group? Type the letters TTG if you're not a member of True Trading Group. And then I want to get into my top trade ideas. I want to get into my top trade ideas for the week here. But if you're not a member, just type the letters TTG real quick inside chat. Oreo, what's up, man? Barty says it is the best tool you can have to trade with. We got Oreo, we got James, we got Mark. Awesome. So we got a bunch of people here that are not members of True Trading Group. We got like fries with that, sir. I like that. I like that username. So listen, those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, we're doing something a little bit different tonight. Oh, Gail, you were previously a member. Joseph, you were previously a member. Guys, seriously, Gail and Joseph, okay? Gail and Joseph, do me a favor. Send us a text message. You guys used to be members. Send us a text message. If you guys want to come back and join, we'll take care of you as a former member. I'll give you guys something real special if you guys do want to come back. So, Bronx Trader, brother, get yourself back, man. So Joseph, Gail, send a text message to the number you see at the bottom of your screen. I'm literally going to instruct the guys right now to give you a really special offer since you guys used to be a member. If you guys want to come back for the holidays, text. This is specifically for someone that used to be a member, or if you guys maybe used to be a trial, or if you guys used to be part of the community, text 1-888-621-2127. And we'll do something special for you guys. So Joseph, Gail, if there's anybody else here that used to be a member, text that number. We'll do something special for you guys if you guys do want to come back for the holidays. All right. So I'm a lifetime member. I've been here over 2 years. It's incredible. I use it myself. M. Scott says, when will you do this again? I'm not a member. So listen here. If you guys are not members, this is what I'm going to do. All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to actually get access to True Trading Group, but also, oh, that's you, Brock. What's up, my man? Brock, what's up, brother? What's up? What's up? So guys, listen, here's what I'm going to do. If you guys are not members, if you are not a member, I'm going to give you guys a chance to actually use the Holy Grail tool. I'm going to give you guys access to our entire platform for 90 days. Included in that platform, I'm going to give you 30 trading plans with the Holy Grail tool. Now, what you just saw was one trading plan. So when you click run analysis and it generates a trading plan telling you, okay, we like, calls on Tesla, this option, this entry, this strike, this stop loss, this profit target, this is the trigger, this is when to get in, this is when to get out, this is our conviction level on the trade, blah, blah, blah. That's one trading plan. I'm going to give you 30 trading plans to generate with this tool. to help you guys make money. You can use all 30 in one day, or you can spread 30 of them out over the course of 3 months. The choice is yours. And Gail, you have to text the word START to 1-888-621-2127 so that we can respond back to you. So Gail, just text the word START to that same phone number, Gail, and then we can reply back to you and the guys can communicate. Okay? So that's the deal. That's what I'm going to do. Anyone that's not a member of True Trading Group, go to ttgoffer.com right now. I'm going to give you 90 days of access to the True Trading Group platform. And I'm going to include, so you guys can use this tool, 30 trading plans with your 90-day membership. I'm doing this because I am so confident that if you guys use our platform and you use this tool, I'm confident you're going to make money, and then you're going to want to stay and be part of True Trading Group for the full year. That's why I'm doing this. I am making a bet that this is going to help you make money, and then you're going to want to stay with us for a full year, and then you'll have the full access to the Holy Grail tool if you guys want to stay with us and have access to the Holy Grail tool during your membership. I'm literally throwing in 3 trading plans for you guys to use. It's $297 for 90 days of access to the TTG platform. I'm going to give you 30 trading plans with this tool. Use it. It has a 75% hit rate right now. We've surveyed our members that are using the tool. 71% of the members using the tool in the last week of trading reported having a profitable week of trading, and they made money with the tool. So I'm going to give anyone here that's not a member a chance to use it. Go to ttgoffer.com. The next 15 people that join here tonight will get 30 trading plans included with their membership for the Holy Grail tool. Okay? 30 of them. And again, use them however you want. You've got access to our platform for 90 days. You can spread them out over 90 days, or you can use all 30 of them tomorrow if you want. Use them how you want. Use them or lose them. That's it. I'm giving you 30 of them because I'm confident that with those 30 trading plans, you're going to be able to make enough money to cover an entire annual membership to True Trading Group. If your experience with this goes anything similar to the experience that our members are having, then that should be true. That should be accurate. And that's why I'm willing to do this here tonight. So again, it's ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included. You actually get access to, for those 90 days, you're going to get access to Mari, which is the award-winning AI. Okay, that's our AI trading assistant. You're going to get access to that. You're going to get our chat room with all of our trade alerts. You're going to get all the real-time data. You get all of our professional trading courses, the trading tools, the educational library, the video library, a community of over 10,000 traders from 115 different countries. You get access to TTG Social, which is True Trading Group's own social media platform for those 10,000 plus members that we have at True Trading Group. You get access to all of that with your membership for $297 for 90 days. You get the mobile app as well. So you guys, if you're not in front of your computer during the day, don't worry about it. 82% of our members have a full-time job, so they use the mobile app all the time. So again, it's ttgoffer.com. It's $297, guys. That's it. 90 days, and you guys get 30 trading plans included with your membership. If you have any questions at all, I want you to send a text to 1-888-621-2127. K-Wise goes, if you win 2 of 3 trades with the Holy Grail, you will be hooked. It is almost a crystal ball. If instructions are followed, it has a 75% win rate. Okay, Diego says a 70% win rate in a difficult market. Nice. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, Josh, you too. Josh goes, I was a member for 2 years when you only had year subscriptions. I would love to come back in for cheaper, even if it is a shorter time. Josh, and this is for you, brother. Josh, this is for you. Josh, send us a text message, especially if you used to be a member. We'll do something special for you too. You can join for 90 days. It's $297. Use these tools. Use them. Okay? Use them. Oreo, do we need to put all of the information to get it? What do you mean by do you need to put all of the information to get it? Oreo, what is your question? And again, Josh, text a number at the bottom of the screen. Anyone else, text a number at the bottom of the screen. Just make sure you text the word start so that we can respond back to you. That's you like opting in so that we can communicate with you, because we don't like spam people or anything like that. So you have to text the word start and then we can openly text you. Oh yeah, Oreo, yeah, you have to put in your credit card. You have to buy the membership. It's $297. That's going to get you access to our entire platform for 90 days. And I'm going to give you 30 trading plans included at no additional charge for the 90 days. But you have to pay $297 and then you'll have access to it. So again, it's ttgoffer.com. Oreo, if you have any other questions or if you need help with anything at all, do not hesitate. Send a text message, 1-888-621-2127. Okay, text the number right down there. This goes for anybody. Okay. F and weigh in goes, TTG puts the G in legit 100%. I love it. Oh, yes. Terry, I love you, man. Terry always reminds me, there is no automatic renewal. There is no automatic renewal on this. So if you forget to cancel your, let's say after 90 days, you're like, I don't like it. I don't want to continue, which I highly doubt, because our retention rate amongst our members is well into the 70s, which makes sense because our success rate of people that was in the 70s. So that makes sense. If you're having success, you're going to stay. But there's no automatic renewal. You would need to physically and manually process another transaction if you want to stay with us. Because my bet is that after your $297 for 90 days, after your 90 days are up, my bet is that you will have made money and you're going to want to stay with us and join an annual membership. That's my bet. That's a bet that I'm making. So again, ttgoffer.com. Otherwise, text the number you guys see at the bottom of your screen if you guys have any questions at all. All right? All right. Excellent. Let's roll through. Let's go back over to the overall markets. Let's do a quick check-in on futures. Yeah, we're still up. We're still up 0.23. We're up 0.23% on futures. Small little green start to the overnight session. But listen, that's nothing. A lot can change between now and tomorrow morning. We have 12 hours before the markets open up. So it's not enough of a move in either direction to make me feel pretty confident about a gap up or a gap down either way. I don't necessarily really care. I have very specific levels that I want you to focus on for this week, because this is what's going to be the premise behind my trades. I'm going to tell you what I hope happens, because if it does, I'm going to have some high conviction trade setups that I'm going to go after if what I'm going to explain to you happens. But if not, it's okay. We shift, we adjust. And if what I'm about to go over with you does not happen, we've got other plans in the works, and we'll go through it. So I want to show you guys the SPY. We double topped, obviously, at the all-time high following the Fed meeting. And I just think that this sell-off that we had on Friday, I think it was technical. And it was AI trade fear worries. So the markets, I think, were tired, having traveled a long way from 652 up to 689 without any pullback at all or any real consolidation or pullback. It was just a rocket off support. And I'll show you the support level down here in the low 650s. We talked about this support level at nauseum back in November. If you guys were following the live streams during those times, was a major support level. It held beautifully. We got a huge move off of it. Then we floated higher, continued to float higher. And then when you have an exhausted move into a major resistance level, which this is, that exhausted move makes it very difficult for a stock to break major resistance without a pullback first or some type of consolidation. So let that be a little technical analysis lesson you guys take with you. When a stock, you have to think, if a stock has a really big move in a short period of time, it gets tired. Just like you get tired if you were to run a long distance in a short period of time. And in order for it to try to break through that resistance level, which is a major level, right? That major level, I would probably say that the probability of that level breaking on its first attempt off an exhausted move is actually pretty low. So usually when I see exhausted moves into major levels, we usually play the rejection on the first go around. And it's a very high probability trade, whether it's a short off of a resistance zone or a long off of a support zone. Usually the first attempt of a major level after an exhausted move usually that level does not break. And that's exactly what happened as we got up into the all-time high following Fed Day. And then you had Oracle's earnings and Broadcom's earnings, and everybody kind of got a little worried. You had both of those stocks drop 10, 11% or more on the back of their earnings. And that took all of your AI stocks down with it Friday. And then you had the double top and the catalyst of the AI stocks. And that just got everything risk off and everything heading back to the downside on Friday. Okay. As the head trader, how many new position trades do you make a week? Joe, it really depends. On average, I'm usually good for anywhere between 1 and 3 new trades a day. The last couple of weeks, there were some days when maybe I only made 1 trade or 2 trades because I've been really busy building out that Holy Grail. So you guys, that Holy Grail tool is, I've trained it. So a lot of my rule sets and analysis and stuff is built into that tool. I'm teaching it how to read different data points and how to read support and resistance levels, how to classify major levels, minor levels, like all the framework, the risk tolerance, the criteria and parameters for different triggers of patterns and different trade situations to be met. I've trained it. So I kind of was busy doing a lot of that stuff. So my trade frequency over the last couple of weeks has actually dipped a little bit. But now that tool is live, my trade frequency is now working its way back up. So I'm usually good for like 1 to 3 trades a day on new position. But I'm not the only trader, Joe. So there's 8 professional traders at your trading group. We all share our screen with you. We trade with you live. We answer questions. We call out market commentary. We give you guys our trades, our entries, our exits, and our analysis throughout the whole trading day. So it's not just me. Okay. Important that you guys do that. We have an amazing group of moderators at your trading group, some phenomenal traders, some really phenomenal traders. But yeah, so that's that. All right. So little thing to know there again about the technical analysis of like major levels and when stock's exhausted. So what I'm thinking is what I would like to see is I would like for the SPY to pull back to the mid 670s and retest this support level that I just drew on my screen for you. This is a real nice level of structure. If you guys look, this was the gap up day when we had the lighter than expected. I forgot what the catalyst was this day. I forgot what the catalyst was this day in October. Whatever. We gapped up, and you can see that's the gap entry point, right? So here's your gap entry point right here, right? Then you dipped back down into it the very first couple of trading days of November, and it became support. Then you broke it. You got back above it. It became support again. You broke back underneath it. There's just a lot of structure here. Look, and then it became resistance these 2 trading days, resistance here on this day, resistance here on this day. And then you gapped above it, and you never backfilled that gap, retested it, or anything. Okay? You haven't pulled back in to reset against it. And what I like about it now is that the 50-day moving average is also sitting there. So see this dark blue line? That dark blue line is the 50-day. So now you have the 50-day moving average working your way up to add to support at that level. And what else you have is if you drew Fibonacci retracement levels from that November bottom up to that previous high, all-time high test, it's also the 38.2 Fibonacci level. So now we have the 38.2 Fibonacci level, all this previous structure from the last 2 months, and the 50-day moving average. And all of that, I think, coincides together to give you a really nice support level for if we dipped into this zone, for this zone to hold and then bounce. And now the markets are not exhausted. They're not extended. And now you have a higher launch pad to come off of and make another run at those all-time highs. And then this time, going into the end of the year and going into the Santa Claus rally time period, this time break through it, because we failed to break through it last week. So I would love for us to pull back down a bit. Like, I was kind of actually hoping that we were going to have a red open on the futures today, because I would feel better. I would feel better about a break down into this level, and then we can go long. Because if we were to break 679 on the SPY, that's the level, 679. You break 679, you should look for an easy $3 to $4 move into 675, 676. Okay. And then from there, I would then say, okay, let's get off of shorts. Now let's start positioning ourselves long for swings. We would kind of day trade 1 or 2 day moves into 675, 676. Then we would flip, position long, get into some swing trades that we can position ourselves for a few days, maybe a week to 2 weeks for some swing trades back then up to the upside. That's how I would like to position myself going into the last 2 weeks of the year. But that's only if this price action sets itself up. So we get under 679, just know I'm short until I see 675, 676. I'll come out of my shorts there. I'll start to cover some stuff. We'll then look to start to position long on some relative strength and some stocks that have held above some key support levels to capitalize on a year-end rally and to back up towards those all-time highs. Okay? So my thoughts so far. We got to welcome James. James just joined, guys. Everybody welcome James. James is the newest member. Okay, everybody welcome James. James is the newest member to the TTG family, guys. Everybody welcome James. We are making new session highs right now in futures, actually. MM Scott says, I came in very late. I'm not sure what I would do to start trading. Do I need to understand candlesticks? So, Scott, if you don't know anything about trading, I actually would sometimes prefer that you had no experience prior. A lot of members have joined True Trading Group over the years that came from other places or other things where they learned a lot of really bad habits. And we kind of have to unwind a lot of those bad habits and get people to stop trading emotionally and get them to be able to trade more systematically and just, react rather than try to predict. And there's a lot of things that, unfortunately, listen, I'm not saying that every other platform and group is crap. I'm not saying that. There are other good places out there. It's not like True Trading was the only place that has good traders, but there's a lot more places out there that are complete garbage. There's a lot of places out there that are nonsense. They're good marketers. They're terrible traders. They're even worse educators. And if you get sucked into a place like that, you can develop a lot of really bad habits. And then when you find somewhere that is actually a legitimate place that has really good traders that actually are successful and actually do it for a living and are actually making money consistently, you kind of have to unlearn a lot of bad habits you had previously. So MM Scott, if you don't know anything about trading at all, True Trading Group is definitely the place for you to begin. We have beginner educational material. Our educational content is broken up between beginner and advanced. So if you have no experience, you start with beginner. If you are already a successful trader, you're just kind of looking to take your trading to the next level, obviously you start with the advanced stuff. But there's something there literally for everybody. So, I mean, you're in the right place. I would tell you, send us a text message if you need help with some stuff. If you have additional questions about the platform or like how you can get started, just send us a text to 1-888-621-2127. And we can help you get started, help answer any questions that you have. Okay. So, and again, guys, ttgoffer.com. If you guys do want to join, it's $297 for 90 days. There's no automatic renewal. And I'm giving you 30 free trading plans with the Holy Grail tool for you guys to use. That is our new tool that we issued 2 weeks ago for True Trading Group that has a success rate currently right now of around 75%. And our members are killing it with it. Our members are reporting well into the 70s of users that are using the tool. Well into the 70s, our users are reporting that they're making money with it. So I want to give you guys a crack at it. You guys can use it. You'll get 30 trading plans with the Holy Grail tool. You can use all 30 of them your first day or spread them out over the next 90 days. I want you to use them. Bull City Cocktails says it's 80% for me. So that's insane. Like these are members, right? So Bull City Cocktails has an 80% win rate with it so far. BX Packy goes, I don't know anything. I just follow the moderator's trades. You can do that too. I do want you guys to learn though. I don't want you to just blindly follow moderators. You could if you want, obviously, but I do prefer that you guys actually gain some knowledge and understand and know what you're doing. Okay. Joseph Suarez goes, I fell in love with trading through Warrior, Tim Sykes, the rush and the excitement, the gas up of getting rich fast. I learned to trade profitable through TTG and Mike. Real trading. I never joined anyone, only TTG. Best life decision I made. Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, Joseph, bro. Send us a text, man. Send us a text. We'll get you set back up with everything. 1-888-621-2127. We'll do something special for you, man. All right. All right, folks. So let's get into some of these trade ideas. So I just kind of gave you my thoughts there for the SPY. 679, if that breaks, we're looking for a move to 675, 676. Then we go long. If we don't break it, right? If we don't break 679, and if we get a recovery tomorrow that looks something like this, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it makes for a little bit of a tougher trade because I think you might need to chop for a little bit for the market to at least recharge its battery before we make a break attempt at that prior high. We also have a ton of economic data coming out this week. I'm not trying to predict what that data is going to be. That data will absolutely move the market. So I'm not trying to Benjamin, we just got your text, but you need to text the word start so that we can reply back to you. Once you text the word start, you're essentially opting in to allow us to communicate with you. We don't spam people. So you have to opt in and text the word start, and that allows us to then communicate back to you. So Benjamin, just text the word start and we can answer your text message. All right. Okay. So let's get into some individual stocks that we're talking about. I'm sorry. The economic data. I'm not trying to predict what this data is going to be. I have no idea what the October PCE number, the November jobs report, the November CPI number. I have no idea what that data is going to be. I'm not psychic. I don't predict the future. My job is not to predict what those numbers are going to be. My job is to know how the market will react to what the numbers are. That's my job. And I will be positioned for that when those data points come out because they will move markets and my trading plans may change based on those data points. So make sure that obviously that's where being a member goes a long way because you'll get notified of all of my different trading. All right. Okay. Now, trade ideas. I have to talk about the cannabis stocks, right? Have to talk about the cannabis stocks, Tilray, MSOS. Obviously, there's the rumor here is that Trump is going to be signing an executive order possibly as early as tomorrow, descheduling or declassifying or descheduling the marijuana basically to be a pharmaceutical, which is a huge deal for the industry. And if that actually does happen, I do think these stocks have a little bit more room to the upside. These stocks are notorious for moving higher on hopes and dreams of regulation changes. The changes never came, and then these stocks have sold back off. This would be your first major regulatory change with marijuana that we've had in a very long time. And I do think that these stocks would have a little bit more room to the upside if that is the case. Tilray, support 13 and 12. So I'm looking for support on Tilray at 13 and 12. And if 13 and 12 can hold, I think you can see Tilray get up to 15, 16 bucks. MSOS, I can't believe I'm actually saying that I think these things might have more room to the upside, but because I've always been the guy over the last couple of years that's like, oh, these things popped, short them. But this is real regulatory change. So there might be more room here. $6 is the mark here for MSOS, and I think you can see MSOS go to like 758. That's where your next resistance level stands from there. So I'm looking for MSOS to get above 6 and hold 6. I'm looking for Tilray to stay above like 13 or 12, and then see if there's more upside on those two names specifically. All right. Now, if you guys were on my live stream last week, right? If you guys are on my live stream last week, congratulations. Wells Fargo, huge trade. If you guys were on my live stream last week, I told you one of my top trade ideas for this week was long Wells Fargo at 88.5. Well, right into 88.5 we go on Wednesday, and a beautiful reversal, breakout to all-time highs, and follow through there on Thursday. I still think there's more upside here on Wells Fargo. Now, instead of 88.5 being the entry point, it's 91. Okay? We're going to ride this 90 EMA until the wheels fall off. You can see 90 EMA support there the entire month of December. We just had a clean break, a nice volume through that prior high and out of this consolidation. Now we look for 91 support and look for Wells Fargo to keep going. Keeping in with the banks, keeping in. Oh yeah, Target was a monster, right? Congratulations if you guys were on my live stream last week. We gave you Target. That was a swing trade. It was a monster 250% gain on the call options. I am now out of that position at 98. Last final take profit came off on Friday. An absolute home run. Nice inverse head and shoulders. Nice little bull flag. 50-day moving average, 90 EMA cross. Failed breakdown of support. Lots to like about that swing trade from last week. We crushed that one. That stock is not on my watch list this week. But sticking with the banks, we're going to go to JP Morgan. JP Morgan sold off because of some comments by the CFO at a Goldman conference last week. I thought it was ridiculous that the stock sold off as much as it did from the comments. I said I think it's an overreaction. The stock immediately got bought back up 2 days later, and now I just think that Wells Fargo is going to make an attempt at that all-time high. So for Wells Fargo, I'm looking for support around. I'm looking for support around like 316-ish. I would say like in the teens is really what I'm looking for. Right? I'm looking for it right in there around the teens. Is where I'm thinking, like somewhere in this region right here. All right, somewhere right in there to find support and then try to make a push back up into the 20s. All right, these are just the areas of the market I want to be long if the markets do actually, if we do make that push to a new all-time high. So if we do get that Santa Claus rally, these are stocks that we're going to be focusing on. Next up, let's talk about some shorts. Nice little trade lower here on Bitcoin. We're trying to recover it. So we kind of traded lower on Bitcoin, and now we're trying to recover. I think we've got to see if Bitcoin finds resistance in those low 90s, which was support last week. If Bitcoin can't reclaim the low 90s, like if it can't get back to 91, 92, I think you got to watch it to turn back over. So what I'm going to do with Bitcoin is I'm going to wait to see if we reject the low 90s and trade back into the high 80s. If we do, you're probably going to see me go after some shorts on some crypto-related stocks. So if that's the case, but again, I need to see that rejection in the low 90s on Bitcoin first. If that happens, I'm going to go after Coinbase short. And I think that we can probably be short against 270 and look for Coinbase to trade to the 250s. And then I'm also going to look at Circle short with a break of 80. 80 is a nice little support level here for Circle. And if 80 were to break, I think we can move into the mid 70s. So you can see nice little resistance there. Now you've had a little support here in the low 80s the last couple of days. All right. If you break 80, I think that Circle trades back to probably 75, 76. But again, I need to see Bitcoin reject the low 90s in order for me to take these trades for the shorts on some of these crypto names. And then last, but certainly not least, AMD, big time rejection at prior support, 225. Wow, I actually drew this line for you guys last week. This is another one I gave you guys on the live stream last week. One of our top trade ideas was AMD short against 225. We got the 225 on Tuesday and then rolled it over back to 210. I still think there's more room here to the downside. Micron has earnings this week. If Micron is a disappointing earnings result, similar to what you saw on Broadcom, that should give you a sympathy play on AMD that takes AMD further back down to the low 200s and gets into that 100-day moving average, which is that purple line that you guys see on my screen. So we're going to look at AMD as a sympathy play to Micron's earnings. Now, obviously, if Micron blows their earnings out of the water, the stock gaps up 15%, we're not going to short AMD. But if we have a disappointing release there from Micron like you did Broadcom, I think that you can see further downside on AMD. We're looking at 210 to be resistance. We need to break 210, then let 210 be resistance, and then we'll drop it down to 200. Okay? So these are the trade ideas that we're going to have coming into the week. Now, I will again repeat, there is a ton of economic data coming out this week. I do not know what that data is going to be, but I do know it's going to move the market. So I may have to adjust my trading plans depending on those catalysts when those data points come out. I will let members obviously know and understand. So that's it. That's what I'm thinking about coming into this week. If you guys have any questions at all, make sure you send us a text message, 1-888-621-2127. Benjamin, you specifically, I know you need to send the word start. I don't know if you have yet already or not, but anybody else, make sure you just text the word start to that phone number. And that'll allow us to reply back to you. If you guys do want to join TTG, I'm giving you the ability to try our brand new tool that has a 75% win rate. I'm going to let you use it 30 different times. No additional charge. I'm going to give it to you guys for free. You can join True Trading Group right now for 90 days for $297. I'm going to include 30 trading plans generated by the Holy Grail tool. It's got a 75% win rate as it stands right now. Members are having a tremendous amount of success with it. I want you to use it. Okay. I want you to use it because I think that it's going to help you to make enough money to where you're going to say, you know what? I want to stay here for the whole year. I want an annual membership and I want to pay for the Holy Grail tool for the whole year. I want to join because it made you enough money to do so. I'm confident in its ability to help you do that based on the success our members are having with it now. So you guys go to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for $297 for 90 days, including 30 trading plans from the Holy Grail tool. That's going to include entry, exit, stop loss, profit targets, everything. The trigger to get in, the trigger to get out. Use it. All right. That's ttgoffer.com. All right. And again, the text 1-888-621-2127. Have a great rest of your night, folks. Members, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And that's it. If you haven't done so, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow, folks. Have a great night.